Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is Steve Robberstad alongside Melissa Paakh. We're coming to you from Centennial High School for this dual meet for the Northwest Suburban Conference between the Blaine Bengals and the Centennial Cougars. Our own Melissa Paakh caught up with the coaches just a few moments ago. Here's Melissa talking to Coach Kipp.
Coach Kipp, tell me about how the season has gone so far.
Well, it's been a very fun season because we have a very established team and have been conference champions for the past 3 years, undefeated for the past 3 years. So this season we're trying to make it a four-peat, and we have the swimmers to do it. It's just we're finally running into some competition now that's going to be really challenging for us.
And who is that competition?
Well, coming to the end of the season, we have a NOCA on Thursday, which would be for our half of the conference to determine who the conference coach, our side of the conference will be. And then we also have Maple Grove following week, and we have True Team Conference this week, and True Team State the week after that. So it gets pretty fast and furious.
Do you think that'll be a good indication of, where you'll be standing at sections?
I think so. It's pretty much the same lineup I'll be using at sections. I have a few changes I have in mind. I'm not going to give all my secrets away, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome. And who are some of the girls that are really stepping up this year? Some girls that haven't maybe been as big of a factor in the past couple of years, but you're really seeing start to step up now?
Well, a lot of our 7th, 8th, and 9th graders, just are starting to take the lead role, and we have a good group of seniors and a good group of juniors that have been so strong for many, many years. And so as they graduate, so this next group of kids are going to have to step up a little bit. And so it's going to be kind of fun to see how they do that, especially next year when we lose so many. We lost 15 seniors last year, but we picked up 22 7th graders this year. And so if we continue with that kind of a progress, I mean, we have 70 girls on the team, which is the largest group that I've had since I've been here for the past 8 years. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see how they develop. A lot of my seniors started with me as 7th graders, and it's been fun to watch them grow.
Awesome. Well, thank you. And how do you think tonight will go?
Well, I think we'll come out on top. We set up some good races with Blaine, and they have some very exceptional swimmers. And we're trying to match up where we can to have some good races at this time of the year.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Pleasure's on this side. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Chip and Melissa. And Melissa's also standing by with Coach Dave Ludke, assistant coach for the Blaine Bengals.
Coach Dave, tell me a little bit about how the season's been going so far for you.
Well, I think the season's been going well. We've had a lot of nice time drops already, and it's a good thing to have as we're heading into the True Team meet this weekend.
And tell me what your team looks like.
We've got our talent is spread pretty well over all the grade levels, which is very nice, and so that we know we have some kids coming up that are going to continue to strengthen the team each year. We have 62 girls on the team right now, and that includes 8 divers, and including the section champ, returning champ. So we're real excited about that, and we've got a couple of section champs in the swimmers as well that are returning this year. So we feel like we are continuing to get stronger as we train and get ready for the big meets.
Awesome. That sounds like you're having a great year.
Mm-hmm.
Where are some of your strengths?
I would say some of our strengths are right now in the breaststroke, as well as backstroke and individual medley. Our fly is getting stronger all the time, and so I feel like we have we can compete at each level right now. We just want to be stronger.
Excellent. And how do you think tonight will go?
Well, Chip's got a great team, and we think we'll be competitive in several events. I think it's going to be a big challenge for us. We have 3 big challenging meets this week, including Centennial is the first, and Elk River on Thursday, and then a True Team meet on Saturday. So it's going to be a challenging week for us all the way along, I think.
Right. And with all of these meets coming up and these competitions, have you been taking it easy on the girls this week in practice?
Well, we went pretty hard last week, and so we had some kids that were tired, and it's the standard. After the end of the first month, you've got a lot of kids that are getting colds and some of that sort of thing. But I think if we can get that stuff over right now, we're going to be ready to go when the section meets roll around.
Excellent. Well, it sounds like you're ready to go. Thanks, Coach Dave.
Okay.
Okay, Melissa, isn't this exciting? We're already to the 200-yard medley relay varsity heat. Swimming in lane 1 for Centennial is going to be Hareland, Spalding, Pollinger, and Stensland. In lane 2, Bosley, Anderson, Janisek, Sullivan. In lane 3 for Centennial, Anderle, Lehman, Wang, and Rademacher. In lane 4, Stadden, Parsons, Knox, and Julia Robberstad. In lane 5 for Centennial, Bealby, Sapala, Harville, Vansel. And in lane 6, Jensen, Lauren Robberstad, Han Tran, and Maren Kane. And here we go. Starting off with the backstroke. With the underwaters, what did you see there, Melissa?
I think some of the girls could have gone a bit further, but it looks like we have some girls coming up for a turn right now. We'll see how they look on this wall.
That's fantastic. That's that is the 8th grader Isabella Stadden swimming for Blaine out front there in lane 4. Real great backstroker.
Beautiful stroke.
And in lane 4 for the Bengals is AP Alyssa Parsons. She is the defending breaststroke champion for the conference. What do you see with AP's stroke?
She looks very powerful on her pull-ups, Steve. Here she's getting a little competition from Centennial, but it looks like she won't have a problem beating her to the wall.
That's 11th grader Sarah Lehman right next to her as they both power into the wall. On the fly is Sarah Knox, only a 7th grader, Melissa.
Wow.
Does this remind you a little bit of yourself as a 7th grader?
You know, she is doing an excellent job executing. If you watch her stroke, her timing is excellent. She looks like a very powerful swimmer.
Coming on is Sela Wang. She looks good too. As they come into the end here, we've got the Blaine swimmer Julia Robberstad and Carly Rademacher. Now, Carly Rademacher is more of a natural freestyler than Julia is. Tell me what you see as they're coming into the home stretch here.
Well, it looks like they're having a great race. Wow.
As they come to the final stretch, it's neck and neck, Julia and Carly. Who's going to touch out? It's Julia Robberstad by just a little bit of a hair, and the Blaine team takes the first race.
Excellent. What a fun race to watch there. Julia did an excellent job racing at the finish. She picked her kick up and just drove on home.
Well, Melissa, I don't know how we can top that first race, but here we'll try. The 200-yard varsity is coming up next here, and in lane 1, a senior, Ellie Keene, is in lane 1. Lane 2 is Catherine Egoolf-Jensen, 9th grader from Blaine. In lane 3 is Abigail Schwartz. Lane 4, Kinsey Johnson. Lane 5, Maggie Vansel. And lane 6, Hope Shostak. We've got almost all seniors in this race, this 200-yard freestyle, except Catherine Egoolf-Jensen and Abigail Schwartz. What is the strategy for swimming the 200 free? This is kind of a mid-distance for these kids.
Right, and you know, Steve, I never personally swam the 200 freestyle, but because I coach swimming as well, I know that one of the biggest things to focus on in a 200 freestyle is even splitting and keeping your last 350 splits as close together as you can. So it's important to finish the race just as hard as you started it.
9th grader Abigail Schwartz from Centennial is out front by a good 5 lengths and it looks like she's extending her lead. What kind of things do you see here that's making her so efficient in her swim?
Well, she just looks like a natural freestyler. She is out in a 57.35, which is an excellent first 100 split. We'll see how well she holds on and see what her next 250s splits look like.
Melissa, is it uncommon for swimmers of this age to break the 2-minute barrier? And that's kind of what we're looking for here in this race from Abigail.
Right, exactly. And you know, it isn't super common for people to break 2 minutes, especially when she is so young.
It looks like the good race is also going to be in lane 5 and lane 4 between Kenzie Johnson and Maggie Vansel, both seniors. As we follow the leader coming into the home stretch, Abigail Schwartz touching out at a fantastic time. Let's see if she's sub by far, 158 and 88. What a fantastic race by the 9th grader. Melissa, can you believe the speed that Centennial is showing in the pool there?
That was an awesome race, especially for a freshman. She will have a lot of time to even improve her already fast 200 time.
And with a time of 158 and 88, Abigail Schwartz from Centennial. Next event here is the 200-yard individual medley varsity heat. Swimming for Centennial in lane 1 is Macy Wong. Lauren Robberstad's in lane 2. Julianne Sapala, one of the fastest in the conference, is in lane 3. Ashlyn Sullivan, the 10th grader, is in lane 4. Sarah Lehman's in lane 5, and Sydney Valaquette, a senior, is in lane 6. And a nice start, everybody in the water. The fly is the first in the individual medley. Can you tell me why that is? Why do they do the fly first in this one and then the backstroke first in the relay?
Well, in the relay, the backstrokers need to start in the water so that they don't have to start from the blocks and they can just stay on their back instead of having to turn over from their stomach to their back. So it just makes more sense that way. But having the fly at the beginning of the race for the 200 individual IM kind of gets the butterfly out of the way, especially since that's one of the more challenging strokes for a lot of the swimmers.
After the first 50, 11th grader from Centennial, Sarah Lehman's in first place. Now, I know Julianne Sapala is more of a backstroker, so you can see that she's making up the ground, and she is starting to pull ahead a little bit. Ashlyn Sullivan is also a very good backstroker, and you see her make up a little bit of a stagger there between lane 4 and lane 5. Watch lane 2 as Lauren Robberstad starts to close a little bit here with her breaststroke. Really a back end swimmer. But Julianne Sapala in control of this race. What are you seeing here now? She's already been 2 lengths down. And what are you seeing from her breaststroke here for Julianne?
She looks like she has a pretty natural breaststroke. She's getting her head down in time. Her kick is on time. The one thing in breaststroke that is hard for a lot of swimmers is the timing.
Well, as if 3 strokes weren't enough, finally you end this with a final 50 of freestyle. How do your muscles feel after those first 350s, Melissa?
Steve, it is not the best feeling in the world. Usually it starts to hurt in the breaststroke, and freestyle is just, you've got to grin and bear it.
And touching out in lane 3 is Julianne Sapala, and 11th grader Sarah Lehman touches out second. And the first Blaine swimmer to touch out is Ashlyn Sullivan. And we don't have a correct time up there for Julianne, so we will get that corrected. We will get that corrected and put that on the board. And coming up next is the 50 freestyle. Here we go with the 50-yard freestyle varsity heat. It's swimming for Centennial is Carly Rademacher in lane 1. Sarah Knox is in lane 2. Sarah Groh is in lane 3. Isabella Stadden's in lane 4. Sela Wong is in lane 5. And in lane 6, Erica Jensen. Now, Knox, Groh, Stadden, and Wong, they know each other from the club season. So what is that going to look like here in the race?
Well, you know, something that can really be an advantage for girls that swim together in the club season is that they work together, they train together, and they can really push each other and make each other better athletes.
And of course here they're wearing different color caps. What did you see there in the start, Melissa?
Well, it's a 50, so it's pretty quick. It looks like they're off to a good start. Everyone's hitting the wall.
It looks like lane 3, Sarah Groh and Isabella Stadden are going to be racing to the end. And it's Isabella Stadden touching her out at the end.
Very close race there.
Very close race. Isabella, only an 8th grader, out-touching 11th grader Sarah Groh. And what a great race there for that 53. And with a time of 26:44, the winner from Blaine, Isabel Stadden. And here we are for the diving competition. Diving first for Blaine is Caitlin Biernat. She'll be diving a 301C reverse dive, and the degree of difficulty is 1.6. She'll be doing this reverse dive in a tuck position. This one always makes me nervous, Melissa, because they get so close to the board.
Well, looks like she did a nice job there. Entered very clean.
And a score of 26.4 for her first dive. Diving next is Alyssa Hanley, 301A. Reverse dive, 1.8 degree of difficulty. Let's see what the 10th grader, what Alyssa can do from Centennial here. She's off to the side there a little bit, Melissa.
Yeah, we'll see how that affects her score.
15.3 is her score for the first round. Katie Langley's next, 301C reverse dive. In a tuck position, 1.6. So this is the same dive that Caitlin, her teammate, dove just a moment ago. Good extension into the water there, Melissa.
Yeah, it was nice. Her feet hit a little bit and gave her a little bit of a splash at the end there.
21.6 is her score. Gabby Parkinson is up next, 103C reverse dive, tuck, 1.6. Now the degree of difficulty really has to do with, you know, they standardize, score them, and then the degree of difficulty is multiplied by those scores. .6 for Gabby. And up next is Abigail Egoolf-Jensen, the defending conference champion in 6th place last year in state. 301B reverse dive. Now each one of them have to do reverse dive as a mandatory dive, so that's why we're seeing it's 1.7 is the degree of difficulty. Watch the amplitude or the height that she gets on this dive.
Beautiful dive. Seems she's getting her team very excited.
32.3 is the judges' score on that. Nellie Fulton is the final diver of this first round of the varsity diving. round 1 of 6. Reversed somersault, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Melissa, one of the ways that competitors try to take on Abigail is by going a little bit more acrobatic. 22.4 and amping up that degree of difficulty. All right, round 2. Caitlin Biernat is diving a forward 1.5 somersault. Degree of difficulty is 1.7. Caitlin looked really good on her first dive. Let's see if she can keep it going. That looked really tight. Nice tight rotation.
Yeah, beautiful dive from Caitlin.
28.9 the judges' score. Alyssa Hanley is up next. Forward 1.5 somersault. 1.7 degree of difficulty. This is the same dive that Caitlin just dove. Let's see how it is by comparison.
It looks like her legs went over a little bit. I guess we'll see how the scores match up.
Just a little bit lower, 25.5, but very comparable. Diving next, Katie Langley. Inward dive, 1.5 degree of difficulty. Looked like very little splash to me.
Yet another nice dive. Nice scores on that.
26.5 is the total on that one. Gabby Parkinson is up next, reverse 1.5. 2.1, once again, they're amping up the acrobatics to try and get the degree of difficulty up to compete with Egoolf-Jensen. That one made me nervous, Melissa.
You know, those ones always do make me nervous. I always worry about their heads hitting the board, but they always seem to pull through.
35.7, great score there. Abigail Egoolf-Jensen's up next, reverse 1.5. 2.4. She'll be doing this in the pike position. Once again, Melissa, watch the height and amplitude she gets from her bounding approach.
She looks so powerful, Steve. You can see it when she jumps and gets her height. She looks like she has some very strong legs powering her off the board there.
Just a little bit off to the side for that dive. 42 is the score. Nellie Fulton's up next. Forward 1.5. 1.6 degree of difficulty. Nicely executed there. 25.6, and we're ready for round number 3. Caitlin will be diving a back dive straight, 1.5. Oh, looks like it is a back dive tuck, actually. Caitlin, so far in her first 2 dives, has been fantastic today. Oh, didn't quite get enough rotation backwards there. She's going to wish she had that one back, but still completed the dive. 18 is the score for that one. Diving next is Alyssa. 1.5 somersault in the tuck position. 2.0 is the degree of difficulty. Fantastic dive. Fives across the board for a score of 30. Next for Blaine is Katie Langley. Inward somersault, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Nice dive there by Katie. She rotated a little bit away from the board there, but nice solid score of 28, very little splash. Gabby Parkinson's up next, back 1.5. 2.3 degree of difficulty here. Very acrobatic diver is Gabby. She didn't get quite the rotation she wanted, but she looked fantastic in the air. 34.5, fives across the board. The judges all agree. Abigail is up next, back 1.5. In the pike position. This is the exact same dive that Gabby just dove. So let's see how the judges score it in comparison. Unlike Gabby, who under-rotated a little bit, looks like Abigail over-rotated just a little bit and ends up with a 34.5, so just slightly higher than Gabby's score that round. Nellie Fulton's up next. Forward 2 somersault, 2.2 degree of difficulty. That one made me dizzy just watching it. 26.4, and that ends round 3. And here we go with round 4. Caitlin is diving a back somersault 1/2 twist, 1.7 degree of difficulty. Nice entry there. 25.5 for that dive. Alyssa is diving an inward dive tuck. It's 1.4 degree of difficulty. Nice extension. Fives across the board for a 21. Katie Langley's diving next, forward 1.5 somersault. Degree of difficulty is 1.7. Fantastic dive with just a little bit over rotating. So that gives it that forward splash, but good scores. 28.05 from the judges. Gabby's up next. It's a back 1.5, 1/2 twist, 2.1 degree of difficulty. Once again, she continues her very acrobatic program. Judges score 33.6. Very nice dive. Abigail's up next. Forward 2.5. 2.4 degree of difficulty here. Fantastic dive, Melissa.
It looks like she got quite a bit of speed rotating on that one, Steve.
48. Very solid score. Melissa, I know all swimmers like to dive off the diving board. It's tough to even do one, let alone 2.5 somersaults.
Right. I don't even know what they can do. It amazes me.
Nellie's up for the final dive in round 4 here. It's an inward dive. Very nice straight into the water there for Nellie. .21.7 is the judges' score. And that ends round 4. And here is round 5. Caitlin is up first with an inward dive. 1.5 degree of difficulty. Caitlin's had some real clean dives tonight. She can be proud of really stepping up here tonight. 24.75. Alyssa from Centennial's up next. Back somersault with a 1/2 twist. Her degree of difficulty is 1.7. The judges score 23.8 for that dive. Katie's up next, back 1.5. She'll be doing this in the tuck position. Her degree of difficulty is 2.0. .31. Fantastic. Gabby's up next. It's a forward 2 somersault in the tuck position. 2.2 is the degree of difficulty. Great dive. The judges score 36.3. If you want a good chuckle at home, if you're a North Metro TV sports fan, can you think about our own Kenton Kipp doing a flip off of the 1 meter springboard? That gives me a chuckle every time. Abigail's up next. She'll be doing forward 1.5. 1 full twist, Melissa. 2.2 is degree of difficulty. Watch this. Wow. Wow. That is the best she has hit that this year. I've seen every meet, and that is a 51.32 on that dive. Fantastic.
That will definitely add a lot of points to her overall score.
Nellie, the final diver, is back dive, 1/2 twist. She's the final diver here of round 5. That is fantastic to be able to see what her competitor just put into the pool and then keep it within herself and perform her dive in a way that looked great. 32.4. Some great scores here tonight. This is our 6th and final round. Once again, Caitlin, inward, 1 somersault, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Seems to be a little confusion about the dive. And now she's secure. Looks like maybe it was off the program that she had anticipated, but we'll see how she recovers from that right here. And she recovered quite nicely. .24 is the score, and a total score of 147 and 55. Here's Alyssa's final dive. It's back 1.5, 1.5 twist. 2.1 is her degree of difficulty. Judges do score it 23.1 with a score of 138 and 70 for her total. Here's Katie with her final dive. Back somersault, 1.5 twist. In the free position, which just simply means she can have her arms in any position that she wants as she's twisting. .35 with a total of 161 and 25 for her final score. Gabby with her final dive, back somersault, 1.5 twist, 1.7 degree of difficulty, the exact same dive that Katie performed just moments ago. Gabby also asking for clarification regarding the dive. Still looking to her coach and making sure she dives the right dive so that she doesn't lose out on the points, even if it wasn't the dive she was anticipating. Her total is 28.9, just about breaking that 200 barrier. 194 and 60 is her total score. Here's Abigail's final dive. It's an inward 1.5 somersault. And it's in the pike position. Degree of difficulty is 2.4, very difficult dive. As they say, the crowd goes wild. 49.2. Fantastic diving. That's why she's the defending conference champion. And finishing off the competition here is Nellie's final dive. It's a back somersault. .5 degree of difficulty. And that's a way to finish off this diving competition. Her score is 24.75 and total of 153 and 25. We'll be right back just after this with the total tabulation for the diving competition. You're watching North Metro TV Sports. We're ready for the second half of swimming here. The 100-yard butterfly starts us off. In lane 1, Sarah Lehman. In lane 2, Catherine Egoolf-Jensen. Lane 3 is Sela Wong. Sammy Janisek is in lane 4. In lane 5 is Sarah Harville. And swimming closest to us is Lauren Robberstad. Melissa, the times that we're going to be looking at in this race today are about 104 to 105. So if they go faster than 104, 105, that'll be a very good race for these particular lead swimmers.
Absolutely.
Now tell me how they stagger the swimmers by their time.
Well, usually they have the faster swimmers in the middle of the pool and then go out to the side lanes as the times get slower. So usually when you see the people out in front, it'll be either lanes, well for this pool, since it's a 6-lane pool, it'll be in lanes 3 and 4, but in a traditional 8-lane pool, 4 and 5 are usually the top 2 lanes to look for.
Of course, in Minnesota swimming, in a dual meet, and actually in college swimming as well in a dual meet, it is 3-on-3. So all 6 in this race are going to score. We're just waiting for the official to give the green light here. Melissa, waiting behind the blocks, does that get in your head at all when there's a delay like that?
You know, it can, but it's all how you take it and how you prepare yourself mentally. Definitely can though if you let it.
Out to a quick start is Sela Wong, and Sammy Janisek is only about a shoulder length behind her at the turn. Sela reaches out and gets ahead. Now she's out pretty fast, Melissa. Do you think Sela's going to be able to hold this the whole 100?
It looks like she has a very smooth and efficient stroke. So she's out in a 29.91, which is a very good first 50 split, but we'll see how she holds on.
Looks like she's extending her lead. The race looks like it's between Sammy Janisek and Sarah Harville in lane 4 and lane 5. Lane 1 and 6 bringing up Sela in control from the beginning as she powers home. Like I said, below 104 is going to be a very good time for Sela. Right in that 105 time. Lauren Robberstad also with a personal best time of 1:10 and 19. And the winner, Sela Wong, 104 and 96. Boy, I called it, didn't I, Melissa?
Yep, you did. 104 high.
Up next is the 500 freestyle. Melissa, this is the longest race in the high school meet. What is the thought process as we go into this?
Well, the 500 was something that I never really swam myself, but as a coach, what I usually tell my girls is to try to have some sort of strategy. And because it's such a long race, you need to keep your mind engaged and make sure that you have a plan going into it, because you can kind of get lost in the race, and so it's important to have some sort of strategy going into it.
Now, swimming in lane 1 is Ellie Keene. Ashlyn Sullivan's in lane 2. Tara Chapman is in lane 3. Kenzie Johnson's in lane 4. Macy Wong is in lane 5. Maren Kane is in lane 6. Nice quick 28 split for Tara Chapman. So Melissa, there are people on the end of the pool with numbers. What are those for?
Well, since it is such a long race, they use counters with those white cards that you'll see, and that helps the swimmers keep track of where they're at in the race. And sometimes what's nice about the counters is that the coaches can signal to the counters to shake the cards or turn them upside down or even sway them back and forth to signal, pick up your tempo, or if a swimmer is trying to hit a certain split, they can move the cards in a way to show the swimmer what they need to do in their next 50.
That is fantastic.
So unlike other races, the 500 has, some sort of connection between the swimmer and the coach, where they can actually send codes to each other, if you want to think about it that way.
Oh, that's fantastic. Tara Chapman, the senior from Centennial, looks like she got the code, because she is out front very far right now and looks very smooth in the water right now.
She does. It looks like this must be her main event, Steve. She's out in about a 2:04 for her first 200, which is an awesome first 200 split. Well ahead of the rest of the pack.
Melissa, this is almost going to be a race within a race. We're going to see how she can do compared to herself. And then as we near the end and she touches, I think we're going to be able to see another good race brewing here in the back end with the second, third, and fourth place.
Absolutely. They all look to be pretty close together as of right now.
In commanding lead once again, Tara Chapman, the senior from Centennial. Melissa, I know you've been in races where you've been out front quite a ways. What mentally do you have to tell yourself to keep moving and pacing yourself on your pace?
Well, something that a lot of swimmers will hear from their coaches, and you have to think to yourself, is to just stay in your own lane. Sometimes you have to think of putting on blinders and not thinking about what the other swimmers are doing, so that you can focus on what you personally need to do instead of the other swimmers. Obviously, it's important to race people, but when there really isn't someone to race, you just kind of have to stay in your own mind and stay in the zone. And it looks like that's what Tara's doing right now.
Now, 500 yards seems like a very long distance, and it seems like you would have to be pretty much a specialist to do this. Talk to me about how many yards do these girls swim in practice on a daily basis?
I personally don't know what their training schedule looks like, but I know that they probably are anywhere from about 3,000 yards a day to maybe even 9,000 yards a day, depending on if they're doing 2 practices instead of 1, or if they're doing only 1 practice that day. But for the longer distance swimmers, they'll be closer to 6,000 yards, maybe even 7,000 yards and above from there on doubles.
Tara chasing the lap on her final bell lap here. And she's easily going to break that 5-minute barrier. Oh, there was an error on the floor, wasn't there, Melissa? Talk to us about that.
It looks like they rang the bell early, Steve. The bell is there to signal the swimmer that they have 150 left to go, and it looks like they rang the bell just 150 too early. So, but good thing that the counters are there, and that's what they're there for, is so that they know when to finish the race.
Fantastic race. We need to get a final time for her. .5:25 and 38. And here comes the other finalist. It looks like Kenzie Johnson is going to pull out second. Followed by Macy Wong, the 7th grader. An impressive time.
Five of the 6 girls swimming will be under 6 minutes, which is very good for a high school swimming competition.
Fantastically fast pace there. And with a time of 5:25 and 38, senior Tara Chapman scorching the pool. Up next is the 200-yard freestyle relay. This is the fastest relay of the evening. In lane 1 for Centennial, Pollinger, Lehman, Sapala, Spalding. Lane 2, Anderson, Shostak, Lundberg, Egoolf-Jensen. Lane 3, Schwartz, Groh, Rademacher, Chapman. Lane 4, Robberstad, Knox, Janicek, Parsons. Lane 5, Vansel, Harville, Stensland, Wong. And lane 6, Leppy, Beats, Anderson, Clairstrom. What are we looking for here, Melissa?
We are looking for some fast 50s and some good relay exchanges. One of the important things to note about the relays here are that the swimmers have to be legal on their relay exchanges, but they also have to be quick. So their feet can't leave the blocks before the swimmer coming into the wall touches. And if that happens, if they leave too early, then that will be a disqualification.
Looks like Centennial in lane 3 is out front. Of course, they really are freestyle specialists here at Centennial.
As you watch some of the girls getting ready for their exchanges with their hands out, following in the girls that are swimming into them, they're preparing for that relay exchange.
And so they know at a certain point they can leave, or how does that work?
Well, you see there's a black line at the bottom of the pool with a T at the end, and they are following in the girls to where they get to about the T, and that's when they'll swing their arms back to get momentum that'll carry them forward into their relay exchange.
Centennial A relay is in commanding lead here, but it looks like a good race between Blaine A and Centennial B in 4 and 5. And let's see as they come down the stretch here. That's AP Alyssa Parsons, who looks like is going to take second place here. Oh, but no, the Centennial swimmer.
It looks like Blaine took second place.
Blaine did slightly outtouch her there. An awesome race at the end.
Not by much though, very close race.
Well, fantastic swim there by the Centennial swimmers. With a time of 1:44 and 42, Centennial A takes the 200 free relay. The next event in tonight's dual meet is the 100 backstroke. Swimming in lane 1 for Centennial is Solveig Stensland. Sydney Valaquette is in lane 2. Lainey Anderle is in lane 3. Annalise Bosley is in lane 4. Madeline Bealby is in lane 5. Jordan Anderson is in lane 6. Melissa, what are we looking for here at the turn for the 100 backstroke?
Definitely some good underwaters. The butterfly and the backstroke are both two strokes where underwaters are crucial for the swimmers to get ahead. And it looks like our swimmer in lane 3 is really utilizing those underwaters.
That's 7th grader Lainey Anderle.
For such a young swimmer, it's pretty impressive that she's using her underwaters the way that a swimmer of an older age and a more experienced swimmer will use underwaters. It looks like she's finishing very strong.
Centennial again, 1, 2, 3 in this race. Blaine rotating some of their swimmers that don't necessarily swim this race on a regular basis, saving them for perhaps some competition later in the week.
With true team sections coming up, the girls have quite a busy schedule this week.
And so with a time of 101 and 89, that is the 7th grader from Centennial, Lainey Anderle. Wow. It's time for the 100 breaststroke. This could be the most tightly contested race of the day. The defending conference champion, AP Alyssa Parsons, is in lane 4. And her tough competition, Tara Chapman, senior from Centennial, is in lane 3. In lane 1 is Sarah Spalding. Julia Robberstad's in lane 2. They mentioned before, Tara Chapman's in lane 3. AP Alyssa Parsons is in lane 4. Sarah Harville's in lane 5. And Lindsay Anderson's in lane 6. And they're off. Fantastic start for Tara Chapman. And she looks great, gliding almost to the mid-pool on her underwaters.
Yeah, that would be her pull-out, Steve. The pull-out is what she's about to do right now. As you can see, you're going to a streamline, dolphin kick, pull down, come back up, and then start her stroke again.
Now, I thought the dolphin kick was illegal for the breaststroke.
Well, recently, I guess not so recently anymore, but they did add that back into the breaststroke where they can put that into their pull-out. It used to be illegal, but now they can just do one.
It looks like Chapman's underwaters are going to prove to be a little bit superior to AP's speed. It looks like AP has a little more speed in the lane, but her underwaters not quite keeping up with Tara Chapman. A very nice 107 and 80 for Tara. AP Alyssa Parsons coming in second.
And something to note about Tara's swimming, she's a very powerful swimmer. She's tall, she has a lot of speed with her strength, where Alyssa is a quicker swimmer. She looks maybe a little bit smaller, and so she has to use her tempo to keep her going quick and fast. So in this race, it seems that the bigger, more powerful stroke was able to beat the smaller, quicker tempoed stroke.
And the final event of the evening is the 400-yard freestyle relay. Swimming for Centennial in lane 1, Williams, Erickson, Jensrud, Kells. In lane 2 for Blaine, Valaquet, Lindsay Lundberg, Knox, Julia Robberstad. Lane 3, Schwartz, Anderle, Groh, Chapman. Lane 4, Janicek, Johnson, Parsons, Stadden. In lane 5, Stensland, Sapala, Vansel, Rademacher. And in lane 6, Anderson beats Bosley and Lauren Robberstad. Here we go. Out to a quick lead as expected is Centennial in lane 3. with a nice turn of 50 of 26 and 64. Not a surprise.
No, she is definitely going out fast.
As it's been all night, it looks like one team from Centennial is way out front, and the race is for second and third. The second swimmer here is Lainey Anderly, and she's out at a wicked fast pace again. We saw her earlier in the backstroke, and she's lighting up the pool again. Into the water is Sarah Crow, the 11th grader. Centennial with a commanding lead. A strong second place right now by Blaine. And they've gained a little bit of ground. Melissa, this really does show how deep your team is in this event, doesn't it?
Absolutely. When a team can pull together all four girls and bring a really good relay together, it shows that they're working on not just their individual events, but they're working towards their relay swims as well. And it looks like both teams have some really good freestylers we're seeing. Since this is the last event of the evening, you can tell a lot of the teammates are excited. There's a lot of cheering going on. Even the parents are standing up over here cheering on their kids.
And the Centennial team is flying towards the end. A fantastic time of sub 4 minutes. We'll see what the final is, 3:46 and 80. A fantastic time, and actually not too bad a time by the Blaine relay team, 3:53. And coming in the anchor in lane 2 is senior Julia Robberstad. Her time was about 58 and a half. And in lane 1, Blaine touches out. Julia's little sister, Lauren, 10th grader. And that's 7th grader Emily Kells, who will be our last swimmer of the evening. And she's bringing it home, Melissa.
What a great meet for both teams, Steve. Before interviewing both coaches, Blaine and Centennial, it sounded like they were expecting a nice matchup. And obviously Centennial took the win tonight, but it looks like Blaine put up a strong fight They had some really great swims, great diving for an excellent evening.
Folks, it's not over. True Team is this weekend. If you want to come out, just Google True Team Northwest Section True Team and come out and see these girls swim. I'm telling you, it is exciting to watch. Now let's go downstairs and catch a few of these athletes for their post-swim interviews.
Well, awesome job tonight, ladies. It looked like you put together a very nice meet, both swimming and diving. Alyssa, can you tell me a little bit about your meet tonight?
I thought it went really well. I thought the team had a great performance. Centennial's a really good team, and I'm happy with how I did, so yeah.
Awesome. And you swam some breaststroke tonight. It looked like you had a very close race against Tara, the swimmer from Centennial. Tell me a little bit about your 100 breaststroke.
Well, the race started off a little shaky. I had a rough start, but I caught up to her a little bit at the end, but I guess it just wasn't enough. But it was a good race, and I'm glad I got to have her as competition. So
It's always nice to have some competition and somebody to race. And Abigail, you are Blaine's top diver. You won the diving overall. You had an excellent meet today. Tell me about your diving meet.
Well, I thought I did great. It was fun, and I just go out there and dive the best I can that day, and I have fun.
Awesome, and that's exactly what we're looking for. What was your favorite dive?
I'd have to go with my last one.
Awesome, thank you. And Julia, you had an awesome meet tonight as well. Let's talk a little bit about your breaststroke.
Well, on my breaststroke, I didn't get my best time that I wanted, but I stayed pretty consistent with close to my best time, which is pretty good for being in the middle of the season, so I'm excited to taper and drop time, hopefully.
Awesome, and you also swam some relays today. What was that like for you?
It was fun because when I was anchoring the 200 medley relay, I was swimming freestyle, and the person was right next to me, so I just tried my hardest, and I ended up touching them out, which I was happy about.
Yes, and that was an excellent finish to the race. We all saw you touch her out, and that's what we look for in swimming. So overall, I think it was an excellent meet. It was very fun to watch, and congratulations, ladies.
Thank you.
I'll start out with you, Tara. Can you tell me a little bit about that 500 tonight?
Well, that's not like the event that I usually swim, so I just kind of went out and I guess swam it. It's kind of like a practice meet, so I was going like a training swim kind of, yeah. So it was nice.
Well, it seemed like you were doing more than just practicing. You were out in a 2:04, which is a very fast 200 time, even not even swimming, just a first split of a 500. So,
Thank you.
Tell me how you finished it.
I just knew I had to race into the end. I usually take the last 75 sprint, so that's what I did.
Well, awesome job. And your breaststroke was great as well. Very nice job on that. And here we have Maggie. Tell us a little bit about your swims.
Carly, actually. It's okay. I swim the 50 and the relays, which are really exciting events, nice and short, really fast-paced. And you get to swim, especially with the relays for the team, and that, especially for me, really motivates me to, get out there and swim as fast as I can, leave it all in the pool for my team.
Awesome. And what was your favorite part of the meet?
We actually had some really awesome students come out and represent us tonight, which was really fun. Swimming doesn't usually get that big of a student section, but they came out, they were awesome, cheering loud, so that was a really big motivator tonight.
Excellent. And Maggie, you were swimming some freestyle as well tonight. Tell me about your races.
Well, I also swam the 200 freestyle and the relays, and I just went all out. I wanted to show my team and all my students out there that I can go fast, and I did my best.
Well, excellent job. What was your favorite part of the meet?
Probably cheering on with my teammates on everybody's races.
Excellent. Well, you ladies certainly, did a great job for your team, and I think it showed. And congratulations on an excellent swim this evening.
Thank you very much.